What you're looking at is a pretty run-of-the-mill Asus laptop, pretty modern looking thing. Almost looks similar to the, what is that, the M51E that I have. This isn't an M51E, or anything even close to that. This is actually a K52f. Well, I guess that is probably closer than you might think. 65 watts, there's all the ratings, there's all the whatevers. It has a Windows 7 license on it. But there are a couple of problems with this particular laptop. It was given to me for free. We'll go ahead and we take a look here now that I've pulled the cover off. Number one, this is RAM that I supplied. It did not come to me with memory. It's got 4 gigabytes of DDR3. I think it's 1066 or maybe it's 1333, one of the two. It's not very good stuff, but it'll work for this. Another thing that you can see here is that it is missing the hard drive. This is a SATA hard drive, so it's not a big deal. In fact, I'm going to put an SSD in it. But the bigger problem is not under here. You can't see any of that. The bigger problem is this. Go ahead and we take a look here. Obviously, something very important is missing. The screen is gone. And what's more than that is the bezel is also gone, so I can't even put a screen in this if I wanted to. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to fire it up. Well, actually, before I fire it up, I'm going to hopefully pull this palm rest assembly off. And I'm going to pull this screen display crap completely out. And we'll see if it still works after that. I do know that it will power on and it will go to a BIOS setup screen. But I want to see if it will still work with the entire... Because this stuff is all still plugged in. I want to see if it'll work with it unplugged. Let's pause for a little mini rant. I hate it when laptop manufacturers pull bullcrap like this. Like, really, it is. It's bullcrap. Look at all the damn screws that they've put underneath this stupid keyboard. Come on. What is wrong with just having screws on the underside? There's nothing wrong with that. They just want to make it impossible to service. So stupid. Because all it does is just produce more e-waste that ends up in landfills. It's supposed to be green. Energy Star. Energy Waster is more like it. Good lord. It's been a long time since I've seen a laptop design this incompetent. Oh, but the incompetence doesn't stop there. No. Once you've got this whole damn thing open, you flipped it around 85 billion times to get all the screws out, you have to flip it around again because Twits decided to put this damn connector for the video on the underside of the board. Seriously? I don't even think Toshiba designs things so poorly. Now, I gotta give them some credit. I gotta give them credit where credit is due. This is actually a fairly neat design in that you can power it up without having the keyboard or anything else attached. It's just this button right here, I think. I guess we're gonna find out. Okay, now we've got this damn thing unplugged. We can find out that yes, it looks like it will in fact work. Now, I am going to have to find somewhere to reroute the wireless antennas, but I really don't care. I might not even use the onboard wireless anyway. They could probably just go where the hinges currently are, because those are going to be pulled out and not go back. So, we'll see how this works. Alright, here it is now all assembled and out of focus. We could take a look at the specifications at this point. Nothing particularly great, just a Pentium P6100. I believe that's first generation Intel. Core i series equivalent. So similar to my ThinkPad T410. It's 4 gigs of RAM. The only thing this does not have that I wish it did is it does not have the ability to power on at any time on its own. So unfortunately, there's not much I can really do with that. But what we can do, obviously this would support UEFI booting, but I don't really care about that functionality. I am going to go ahead and install Windows 8 on this, Windows 8.1. Just the same as my existing wireless bridge PC is set up. And I'm going to see how this performs with that. Because it should be a much more power efficient and a better setup than that system is for that. And I'd rather upgrade that to something that's a lot less power hungry. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll be right back with a USB stick so we can install Windows. Okay, so now that we've got the hardware portion of the setup of this thing configured, everything is all good to go, except for the fact that I think the battery's dead. Let's focus on software. Now, my plan for this machine is to use it to replace one of the newer of the two netbooks that I've got running in there. And the newer netbook can replace the older one because the older one is having some serious hardware problems. So we're going to try this for the first time. See how this does. I've never done this before. Well, I have. I've booted them, so I know that they will boot in some environments, but I've never actually done it to the point where it will... I've never installed off of the network using this setup. So we'll see if it actually happens to work. If not, I know where my USB stick is, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so I gave up on the network setup because the driver for the Ethernet is apparently not on that WinPE image for whatever reason. I don't understand why. But we're going to go ahead and just install Windows 7. I know I'm installing Windows 7 and not a newer operating system, but quite frankly, I think this is probably the better route to go anyway. Okay, coming back to this thing. Number one is the power supply that it came with is completely comatose. If I didn't mention it in the video, which I probably did, it's just been a while since I've worked on this. I verified it just now, and it is in fact putting out probably about 4 millivolts. So yeah, that's garbage. So I guess I'm going to have to find a replacement for that. In the meantime, the Toshiba power supply works. And we're now getting it set up for its new duty, which hopefully will work. I guess we'll find out. Well, I had it set up to do stuff, but as you can quite clearly see, there's a problem here. I'm not really sure why the CPU is just burning, but I mean, even if I do something simple like a virus scan, very little CPU usage just gets the thing roasting. So it shuts down after a couple of minutes, and it's sitting right now in the basement where it is freezing, and it's still roasting like that. So I don't know, I guess I'm going to have to redo the thermal situation on that before I use it for anything important. But I guess that's going to really conclude the video since this has drug on long enough. So I tried to use it, and it just didn't work out.